In this lecture, I am going to talk about the initialization of a 2D array. How we can initialize the array elements when people are using a 2D array. It's quite simple to do that. What we can do is we can mention the name of the array at the time of declaration, and as we know, there are two sizes in case of 2D arrays. One is called row size, second is called column size. Giving the column size is mandatory. We cannot leave it. Of course, we can leave the row size if we want to. Now, this is the outer curly braces block, which is being terminated with a semicolon, and it consists of as many nested curly braces blocks as the number of rows we want to have. Now, in this case, this is our first row, this second row, third row, fourth row, and the last row should not be terminated with a comma because this is the last row. Now, as per this example, 10 is going to be the value of the array element A00. This 20 is going to be the value of the array element A01. 25 is the value of the element A02, so on. 20 is the value that is being represented through A10, and so on. This is another example which is quite the same as in the previous case. The only difference is this happens to be of float data type, and this is a special case whereby we can have a character 2D array. We people use character 2D array when we want to have multiple strings. So Anil will be the value of the first string, that is name 0, David will be of name 1, and Salim name 2, Harjeet Singh name 3, and so on. We will be dealing with the strings in a great detail when we will be covering the topic of strings. Now I am going to show you the program of matrix addition, but before that I will show you how the matrix addition is performed. It's a quite simple topic. What happens in case of matrix addition is, matrix means 2D array. This is the first 2D array. Suppose name of this is A, and this is the name of this second 2D array, that is matrix is B. So A00 is this is the value of 10 is the value of A00, 20 is the value of A01, and so on. Here 1 is the value of B00, 2 is the value of B01, and so on. In matrix addition, the rule is very simple. The corresponding elements, they are added together and they are put into the corresponding element of the resultant matrix. So 10 plus 1, 11 will go as the first element of the resultant 2D array. 20 plus 2, corresponding elements are being added. 22 will get stored as the second element of the resultant matrix. This is the output. A00 plus B00, that will give you C00. I am assuming that the name of this resultant matrix is C. So A01 plus B01, that will give you 22. A02 plus B02, that will give you 38, and so on. So this is the program which is quite easy to understand, and I have used here initialization of a 2D array. This is the first 2D array A with 3 elements with 3 columns and 3 rows. This is the second 2D array with again 3 rows and 3 columns. I just want to go for matrix addition, and I want to put the result into this 2D array, resultant 2D array C. So this is the simple loop, this is the outer loop for traversing rows, and this is the inner loop for traversing columns. So I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, condition is true. It will come down to the inner loop whereby j will be initialized with 0. J is less than 3, condition is true. It will come down to the following statement. So it's quite simple to understand. A00 plus B00. So these two corresponding elements would be added and the result will be put into C00 because I and j both are 0 right now. Now inner loop will complete itself first. Control will go to the last component of inner loop. Plus j will make the value of j as 1. Condition will be tested. Condition is true. Now A01 plus B01, that will be put into C01. So it's quite easy to understand this. And finally, after performing matrix addition, I have got the resultant matrix printed on the screen. So let me show you the output. This is the output. You can check it yourself. This is nothing else but addition of the corresponding elements of the input 2D arrays.